This is an Evolving Skies booster box. There is the potential to pull some amazing cards out of this booster box. We could pull a Dragonite V alternate art, an Umbreon V alternate art. Even the secret rares in here are just phenomenal. We could get a Rayquaza VMAX alternate art or an Umbreon VMAX alternate art, the Glaceon, the Sylveon, the Leafeon VMAX. All those cards are absolutely amazing. That's why many people consider it to be the best set out of all of the Sword and Shield block. Even a lot of people say this is the best modern Pokemon set ever. However, with over 100 ultra rares just in this set alone and kind of abysmal pull rates, makes it very difficult for us to follow Pokemon's slogan of gotta catch them all, right? It can get super expensive. A couple days ago, we recorded a video going over Brilliant Stars pull rates and associated value with each rarity that you would expect to pull out of a Brilliant Stars booster box. That way, we could get a better understanding of what we would expect in value in return when it comes to opening up a Brilliant Stars booster box. And I asked you guys if you wanted me to do the same with Evolving Skies. Many of you commented and said, yes, please. So that is what we're going to do today. We are going to be breaking down pull rates and associating values with each rarity, so that way we can get a good understanding of what you can expect to pull out of your Evolving Skies booster box and kind of give you the best idea of what price point you would be comfortable paying in order to get an Evolving Skies booster box. However, before we begin, today is Friday, and that is a lot of fun because on Fridays we give away Evolving Skies booster boxes, which is super exciting. That's right, it is the Danny Phantump reprint day for Evolving Skies. We're giving away a booster box every single week until the reprint finally comes, which is slated to be at the end of August, and I really hope they don't delay it because we only have so many more of these left, and we've still got like 9 more weeks to go yet. So congratulations to this week's winner, Damian Rosario. You are the winner this week of a brand new Evolving Skies booster box. All you have to do is just message me your details. You can hit me up on Instagram at Danny.Phantump. Otherwise, find me on Twitter at Danny__O, or just send me an email. I just need your mailing information so I can ship that out to you. With that being said, the contest now starts over, and you could be the proud new owner of an Evolving Skies booster box. All you have to do to enter to win is hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, then leave a like on this video and a comment on this video down below. Next week, Friday, come back. We're going to record another video, and we're going to point like this, and we're going to announce another winner. And then we're going to do that every single week until the Evolving Skies booster box reprint finally comes. I can't wait. I cannot wait for it to finally come. So congratulations, and good luck to all of you who are entering this week. With that being said, I'm going to flip you guys around in just a second, but before I share all this data with you, I want to warn you up front, this is a lot of numbers. There are a lot of numbers here to digest. The pull rates are a lot of data already, and then the values associated with each card is also a lot of information and a lot of data. So if you have to pause it, if you have to look over things, like totally make sure you digest everything really, really well. The idea of this is to make sure that you have a good understanding of how you want to spend your collection dollars, right? The whole idea of these kinds of videos are to make sure that we have a longevity approach when it comes to collecting Pokemon cards or playing Pokemon cards. You should enjoy the artwork. You should enjoy the pulls. You should have fun opening up Pokemon cards. And that's why we look at values, to look at the difference of what that fun would be when it comes to having a cost associated with it. No different than going to a movie or going to a baseball game or a basketball game or some sort of event that you might be doing. There's fun. There's a cost associated with that fun. So we want to figure out what you are willing to pay, so that way you can make the best decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars. You should be enjoying the cards. You should have fun with Pokemon. Not everything is about money. Not everything is about profit. However, you want your cards to be at least worth some sort of value if you decide to ever leave the game or get out of the hobby. No different than what you would with a car. I think that over the past couple years, we've had such a negative connotation associated with value and profits when it comes to Pokemon, which is completely understanding because PSA 10 signs have been everywhere, and these ludicrous and lucrative numbers have been popping up all over YouTube and all over from different content creators, and all of a sudden money becomes taboo. It is okay to think about values associated with Pokemon cards. However, you don't want to be driven by just that monetary thing. You should be focused more on having fun, enjoying it, but making wise decisions, and that's what these videos are all about. So I'm going to flip you guys around. I'm going to flip you guys around here, and we're going to look at the pull rate data that is associated with Evolving Skies. And we have this broken down by rarity, so we're going to look over the regular arts along with the pull rates associated with them and the costs that you could sell these cards for. Now, for bulk Vs, I did round up to about $2 a piece, because if you do create an account on TCG Player, have a website, do bulk lots, sell on eBay, you should be able to get about $2 for each Ultra, each V card on its low end. So even though some of these are going to be worth $2, I wanted to be generous in what we looked for, but also realistic in what you could expect these cards to be worth. So then we're going to look at VMAXs, then full arts, alternate arts, secret rare alternate arts, so forth and so on until we get through every single thing. So kind of pointing out regular arts first of all. We're going to go really quickly through this one because there's nothing really that stands out. Now, as far as unique items go, the Volcarona we only pulled 4 of, which is kind of an outlier when it comes to this. We did pull 12 Sylveon and 12 Gyarados, but I do think that there is the same amount printed of each of these rarity types. So I think that Pokemon prints these uncut sheets, right, of each rarity type and then slices them, cuts them up, and it's the same amount. You would find the same amount of the Leafeon V as you would the Volcarona V. It just so happened that we only pulled 4 Volcarona V and 10 Leafeon V. So if we look at all the costs associated with each and every card, every single one of them is basically a bulk V right now. There's been so much Evolving Skies product opened that a lot of the single market has gone way down to the point where they're below bulk pricing when it comes to a V card. With the exception of Umbreon V, which is currently selling for about $2.25, everything else is basically a bulk V. So we don't have to go through too much when it comes to the regular art V cards. When we go through the VMAX cards, a little bit more of consistency when it comes to numbers here. You don't have too many bulk VMAX cards. We have a Trevenant VMAX, which only sells for about $2. You have a Jolteon VMAX, which sells for about $5 because of its playability pattern that's associated with it. And then you have the Umbreon VMAX, which sells for about $7. And the Rayquaza VMAX, obviously big amongst collectors, sells for about $6 right now. As far as the pull rates go, Glaceon VMAX is the card that we pulled the least of with only 2. Same thing with Rayquaza VMAX, only pulled 2 of those. And then we pulled 11 Jolteon and 11 Duraludon. Those were the ones that we pulled the most of. For the most part, everything's running right around that $3-4 range, with the exception of a couple of cards that you can see are above $6 and then $7 or $2, as you can see. Then if we move over to the full art section, this is where things start getting a little bit more expensive and a little bit more difficult as far as pull rates go. There was a lot of full arts that we did not pull at all. And if we scroll down here and just kind of look at the amount of packs that we opened up, this is 54 boxes or 1,944 packs, which is a lot of packs. So we have quite a few cards that we did not pull to complete the master set. And that's part of the problem with Evolving Skies, is that there are so many different ultra rares that you can pull from this set that it is very difficult to pull them consistently. You have to do what I call pulling perfect, and then you don't get any duplicates really, because you're pulling singles of every single rarity, assuming that everything gets printed the same amount based off of its rarity. So if we look at the full arts here, we did pull 5 of the Dracozolt Vs. Other than that, nothing really that stands out. We pulled 4 of the Jolteon Vs here. We pulled 3 of the Flareon Vs. Everything else is pretty much 3, 4, 2, 1. We did not pull a single Gyarados V full art or Vaporeon V full art, Glaceon V full art, or Artovish V full art, but we still wanted to take the pricing that's associated with each of those cards so we can add it up to get a likely average for what you can expect out of your booster box when you do sell it. So if we look at the actual sale prices of this, we start having a little bit more expensive singles here, like we have with the Umbreon V, which is selling currently for $21. It's the most expensive full art. Then we've got an Espeon V here for $12.50. We've got a Rayquaza V here for $13. The Dragonite V is selling for $12.50. $14 for the Vaporeon V, $11 for the Flareon V, and $13 for the Leafeon V. Other than that, everything else is single digits. Some of them are fairly cheap, like a Noivern V is only $3.75, the Garbodor V $3.25, same thing with the Golurk V, $2.25 for the Artovish V, and $3.25 for the Trevenant V. So those are a lot of cards that have either been opened a lot or just not as in demand, not as desired as a lot of these evolutions, which I think is what makes a lot of people really excitable about this set. If we look at the full art trainers, not a whole lot that jumps off the page here. As far as pull rates go, fairly consistent between 1 and 4 of just about everything, with the least one that we pulled being Raihan, which we only pulled 1 of, and that's the most expensive one out of the full art trainers. There's only 5 full art trainers in this set, which is somewhat surprising considering the fact that there is over 100 ultra rares in this set. We pulled 4 of the Zinnia's Resolve and 4 of the Gordy, which happens to be basically the cheapest card. $9.50 for the Aroma Lady, $2 for the full art Copycat, $2.50 for the full art Gordy. Then we've got $15 for Raihan and $6 for the Zinnia's Resolve full art. If we move on to the alternate arts, here's where it starts getting really fun. We did pull every single alternate art, which is surprising considering the fact that we missed out on like 4 full art Vs, but we didn't pull a ton of everyone. This would be closer to pulling perfect. We pulled 3 of the alternate art Medicham, 3 of the alternate art Sylveon, 3 of the alternate art Glaceon, and then only 2 of Noivern, Rayquaza, Golurk, and Leafeon, and one of all the remaining ones. But this is where you start really adding up the price points, because your cheapest one is the Medicham at $13, and then Duraludon at the $15 mark. Everything else is fairly expensive, with the most expensive one being the Umbreon V at $80. Dragonite V has continued to climb. It's selling for $76 right now. When this set released, that card was actually right around $30, $35 for one point after the set had been out for a few weeks. And then we've got the Rayquaza V for $74. Everything else is pretty much right around that $45, $50 mark when it comes to the evolutions. If we move on to the Rainbow Rares here, I want to go through this fairly quick. Three of them that we didn't pull at all. We didn't pull the Gyarados VMAX, we didn't pull the Glaceon VMAX, and we didn't pull the Rayquaza VMAX. So if you add those together, that's 7 cards so far that we were short of our master set, despite opening 54 booster boxes, which is quite a bit. But again, when you have over 100 Ultra Rares in a set, there is going to be duplicates, triplicates, even 6 ofs in some cases, like what we have here with the Rainbow Rare Copycat. We pulled 6 of, we pulled 5 of the Rainbow Rare Aroma Lady, and then everything else was either 1, 2, or 3, with 3 of them being the Leafeon VMAX. $18.50 for the Leafeon VMAX. We have $30 for the Umbreon VMAX, $25 for the Sylveon VMAX, and the most expensive Rainbow Rare card right now is the Rayquaza VMAX at $36. Everything else, for the most part, is basically single digits. So you could fill up your Evolving Skies Master Set when it comes to Rainbow Rares for fairly cheap if you kind of wait off on some of those higher rarity cards, or those harder, more in-demand cards like the Rayquaza and the Umbreon and the Sylveon and the Glaceon and the Gyarados. Everything else basically single digits outside of the Leafeon there. So that's pretty cool. If we move on to the alternate art secret rares, we did pull all of these, which was really awesome. Also, with the most expensive one in the set being the one that we pulled the most of. We pulled 4 Umbreon VMAX when we opened up our 54 boxes, which isn't too bad. 2 Leafeon VMAX, 1 Glaceon VMAX, 2 Sylveon VMAX, 1 Rayquaza VMAX, and 1 Duraludon VMAX. This is where you get the really expensive cards, except for the Duraludon VMAX, poor guy, only selling for $24.50. Everything else is over $100 right now, with Umbreon VMAX, the cheapest one, being $306 listed right now on TCG Player. Then you have $190 for the Rayquaza VMAX, Sylveon VMAX $127.50, Glaceon VMAX $121, and Leafeon VMAX $115. When this reprint happens, if these single prices tank, this is really going to help change the price of a booster box right now. So if these single prices start tanking a little bit, then it's going to be very difficult to justify spending $150, $160 on an Evolving Skies booster box, because this is making up a lot of value when it comes to a booster box, and that's why that chase is so fun for a lot of people. If we look at gold Pokemon, there was one that we didn't pull. That brings us up to 8 cards that we were missing for the Evolving Skies Master Set. Frostlass, we did not pull any of. That's a $9 card. Inteleon, we pulled 1, and Cresselia, we pulled 1. Very, very low hit rates when it comes to these gold Pokemon cards. The Inteleon sells for $15.50, and the Cresselia sells for $9.50. If we look at the gold item cards, we pulled all of them except for the Lightning Energy, which means, yes, we were short 9 cards from our Master Set when we opened up 54 booster boxes prior to the set releasing, which is absolutely crazy. We pulled 4 Turffield Stadiums, which sell for about $5.75 right now. We pulled 3 Metal Energies, which are about $15, 3 Crystal Caves, which are about $10.50. Only pulled 1 Boost Shake, 2 Full Face Guards, 2 Stormy Mountains, 1 Toy Catcher, and 1 Darkness Energy. Everything fairly inexpensive, except for Darkness Energy, which is selling for about $18. The 3 Energy cards are selling for $15 or more, and then you have the Crystal Cave, which is $10.50. Everything else is single digits when it comes to those gold item cards. Okay, so what does that mean? In order to get a good understanding of how much average you would pull out of a booster box by breaking down the pull rates and rarities, what we had to do is we had to associate a price with every single card that we pulled, every single listed. Then we had to multiply the quantity times that price to get a full price of value with all the booster boxes that we opened. And then what we did is we took that quantity and divided it by the amount that we pulled as far as value goes. And that gives us an actual understanding of what the value would be based off of pull rate data that you can expect to pull out of your booster box. I know it sounds confusing. I know it's a lot of data, but here's what we came up with. Out of a booster box of Evolving Skies, you are looking at an average of 7.85 Ultra Rares per box that you're going to pull. That means usually you're going to pull about 8 Ultra Rares out of your booster box. In some cases you might pull 7, in some cases you might pull 9, you might pull 10, you might pull 4. I've had booster boxes where I only pull 4. That's a bad thing about Pokemon, is that there's no guarantee when it comes to opening up English versions of booster boxes. That's why so many people have kind of gravitated to opening up Japanese product, because you do have that guarantee of a secret rare. However, don't have that in the English set. So 7.85 is what we're looking at as a total number. This is about half a pull lower than what we saw with Brilliant Stars. Still better than what it used to be when it comes to Pokemon, but not as good as some of the other sets that we've had in the Sword and Shield Black. When it comes to the average regular arts per box, you can expect 3.24 regular art Vs per box, which means 1 out of every 11 packs you're going to pull a regular Art V. The average price point of those right now is only $2 and a penny, and that's because that Umbreon V brought it up above bulk pricing because it was $2.25. So on average, since you're going to pull 3.24 out of your booster box, you're looking at getting about $6.51 of value out of your regular Art Ultra Rares when it comes to opening up a booster box of Brilliant Stars. For average VMAXs per box, very, very good, but that's because there's so many VMAXs in this set, much more than what we saw with any other set when it comes to this whole block, except for maybe the exception of Chilling Reign, which also had an absolute ton of Ultra Rares. You're looking at 2.03 per booster box, which means you're getting 1 out of every 17 to 18 packs. The average price of the VMAX cards right now is $3.70. It makes sense why these prices are so much lower, because you pull them so much more frequently than some of these other pull rates. That means you're pulling about $7.54 of value out of your booster box when it comes to VMAX cards. When it comes to full arts, you're pulling less than one guaranteed full art Pokemon per booster box. You're pulling 0.833, so 1 out of every 43 packs. That means at an average of $8.09 per full art, you're looking at about $6.74 in value out of your Evolving Skies booster box. For alternate arts, much, much worse. You're only looking at 0.38 or 0.39 pull rates when it comes to opening up an alternate art, which means 1 out of every 93-ish packs. So 1 out of every 2.5, 3 boxes is when you are going to pull an alternate art. Basically 2 per case is what you're looking at. The average price point of those alternate arts is $41.48. That gives us an average value per booster box of $16.13 when it comes to your pull rates. For full art trainers, not many in this set, which is why pull rates are a little bit lower. You're looking at about 1 out of every 4 boxes or 1 out of every 139 packs, a pull rate of 0.259. The average price point of those full art trainer cards is $5.29, which means per box you're only looking at pulling about $1.37 in value out of your full art trainer cards. If we look at rainbow rare cards, you're opening 1 out of every 2 boxes, 1 out of every 69, 70 packs. Your average price point of those rainbow rares is $9.65, which means per box on average you're looking at about $5 worth of pulls out of the rainbow rares for an Evolving Skies booster box. For secret rare item cards, about the same as what we saw with alternate art cards, a little bit worse. You're looking at a pull rate of 0.314 or 1 out of every 114 packs. The average price point of a secret rare item card is $8.62. Since you have to open up basically 3 booster boxes in order to get one, you're looking at an average of $2.71 in value when it comes to opening up a booster box for your secret item cards. It gets worse with the secret Pokemon, the gold Pokemon, because your pull rates are so bad. Obviously, we only pulled 2 out of the 54 boxes that we opened, which means your pull rate on it is 0.037 or 0.04, which 1 out of every 972 packs, roughly, you're going to pull a secret rare Pokemon card, a gold Pokemon card, at an average of $12.50 per value, because not very expensive, $15.50 for the Inteleon, $9.50 for the Cresselia. You're looking at 46 cents in value out of that booster box of Evolving Skies. And finally, the secret rare alternate art Pokemon. These are the ones where we have really expensive cards, except for the Duraludon, which isn't too expensive, kind of around that $25 mark. You're looking at 1 out of basically every case, 1 out of every 5 boxes, 0.20 for the pull rate. 177 packs is what it's going to take you on average to pull an alternate art secret Pokemon VMAX. $185.86 is the average. Now that's driven up a lot because of that Rayquaza VMAX and because of that Umbreon VMAX especially, but we do have just about all of them selling for over $100 with the exception of that Duraludon. However, since you're only pulling 1 out of every 5 boxes, you're looking at an average value per box of about $37.86. So what does that all mean? So if we take all this and add it up together and then add $15 for the bulk, for the fun, that's what we're saying, the bulk, the codes, even though it doesn't have too much value associated with it, you're looking at a total of about $84.34 when it comes to pulls out of your booster box, out of your Evolving Skies booster box. The box price right now is selling for $153 for market price on TCG Player, which means your fun cost, or the cost that it would, you're losing about $68.66 on average by opening up an Evolving Skies booster box. Now, not every booster box is going to be that way, and that's why the gambling aspect comes in, and a lot of people get super excited about it, because you could pull just that Umbreon VMAX, and then you could pull an alternate art Rayquaza on top of it, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got over a $400 booster box. However, if we average everything together and take the average rate, this is what you should expect. And expectations are very, very important when it comes to investing your money into Pokemon cards, because how much fun can you have when you're losing a ton of money? All of a sudden, you're going to kind of get driven out of the hobby because you can't afford it, or you feel like you can't afford it. So take a look at these numbers, understand these numbers, and that way you can make the best decision when it comes to spending your collecting dollars. Maybe you want to take that $150 and buy all of the rainbow rares in the set, because you could basically do that versus a pull rate of 0.2 or 0.5, whatever it was, 1 out of every 2 boxes when it comes to rainbow rares. So you're looking at about an average of $85 roughly worth of pulls when it comes to opening up your Evolving Skies booster box, which is significantly less than $153 that it costs to open the booster box. Now, it's a ton of fun to open up Evolving Skies. It should continue to come down in price, especially as we get closer to the reprint. You can see here, based off of the graph over the last 3 months, it has gone down significantly already. A lot of people kind of holding on to back stock, selling off now because they know that the reprint is coming, and they're only going to be able to charge $120, $130, somewhere around that. That, I think, is where we can expect a lot of these booster boxes to kind of fall to over the next couple months once the reprint comes out. Also, it helps that it's coming out at the same time as Lost Origin, so a lot of people are going to be heavily invested into Lost Origin when it comes to storefronts. They're going to have to try and move product to make sure that they can pay their invoices when it comes to that set releasing. Also, they're going to want to make sure that they can move Evolving Skies at a decent rate in order to help make the money to pay for Lost Origin. So be patient. I do think this price point is going to come down to that $120, $130 mark closer to release day, but keep this in mind right now, that you're looking for about $85 in pulls in value when it comes to opening up your Evolving Skies booster box. So the fun cost is going to be roughly $68.66, less than taking a family of 4 to a movie. But still, that's the cost that's associated with it. So I hope you find that information valuable. If you do, hit that like button down below. Leave a comment, because it goes a long way for the algorithm, and it helps get you entered to win an Evolving Skies booster box for free. So that way you don't have to spend $150 on it. Hit that subscribe button. That's also a requirement. And then if you could, just share the video, share the channel. I really appreciate you guys so much, helping me grow, helping me get to this level. 75,000 subscribers is like right around the corner, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I've got 75-ish booster packs that we are going to involve in our celebration for 75K subscribers. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be an absolute blast. Thank you so much for everything, guys. I will talk to you soon. Until next time, peace.